What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day today and I hope it gets even better from watching this video. You say that you're lazy, but I actually don't think that's true. I think you're tired of wasting energy on things that don't actually matter. And I think you have ambition, but no system. You're not lazy, you're just stuck in the mental gymnastics between who you are and who you know you could be. If there's a twinkle of knowing for you right now, then this video is for you. It's for the version of you that's ready to stop quitting on yourself. And not with hustle, not with pressure, but with clarity, momentum, and tools that actually support your ambition. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Nika, welcome. I make videos all about self-improvement and I like to make them very actionable. Like here are the tools, the tricks, the to-do list, if you will, to make a change that you're actually gonna notice. So if that works for you, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. You can also check out my Instagram if you wanna see more of my personal life. And now let's talk about how to finally get out of your own way. I used to be this person, okay? I was so lazy. I had so much ambition and I always thought that I was like meant for more, but then I had no systems in place, no discipline, and I was just caught in this hamster wheel of like getting so excited about a new chapter and starting something new and then falling back into my usual ways. And I just had that on rinse and repeat constantly. And one of the things that really changed everything for me and my whole mindset was that there's suffering with a purpose and then there's suffering with regret. Obviously, any kind of goal, especially if you need to change something about yourself, your lifestyle, change your habits, is gonna take effort, and there's mental gymnastics that come along with that. What I mean by that is, let's say you're about to go to the gym and right before your mind starts going on and on about how you don't want to go, you're feeling lazy, it's gonna be so hard, there's gonna be traffic on the way, I'm gonna feel awkward, people are gonna be staring at me, I don't want to do it. That is mental gymnastics, okay? If you're sitting here watching this, I assume that you're doing this a lot. And once your mind starts this mental gymnastics, you're eventually given. Maybe not in the first week or two, but with time, there's effort, it's hard, it takes energy, and you give in to those mental gymnastics. You're like, I can't deal with this anymore, it's too much, it's too hard, I'm gonna give up. And the suffering that comes along with that is that you don't actually feel good about yourself. You lose confidence by saying you're gonna do something and you never follow through. You have no trust in yourself and your own word. And with time, you become lazy, tired, and sick of your own bullshit. Let's call that suffering because it's not really fun. And it's actually suffering in service of nothing and potential regret later on. Option 2 is you might still do that mental gymnastics at first because it's a mental habit, but then you add on, but I'm gonna feel so good after. I'm gonna actually be working on my goals. When I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna feel so accomplished and so good about myself. It's gonna be hard, you're gonna have to learn new things, you're probably gonna fail and have to get back up, you're gonna have to persevere, stick with it, even if you feel like that's the last thing you wanna do, and that is suffering also. It's not fun, okay? But it's suffering with a purpose. This kind of suffering might be hard, exhausting, challenging, but you know that you'll feel better about yourself. You know that you're working towards your goals. You're actually doing it and you're on the path. It's hard, but it's worth it. And the best part about it is that this kind of suffering doesn't last for very long at all. It really is true that the more you do it, the easier it gets. You build that momentum and then it really does become second nature. So as bad as this sounds, choose your suffering. Are you gonna suffer with a purpose or are you gonna suffer with regret and really in service of nothing? Next, be aware of this dopamine trap, okay? A lot of the time, if you consider yourself lazy but ambitious, you're probably a dreamer. You're probably someone who, wants to start something, is super excited, is telling everyone about it. You create a whole plan, a vision board, and that gives you a dopamine hit. That makes you feel like you've actually already done it, like you've got the satisfaction of doing it, even though you haven't even gotten started, and that feels really good, but then you actually start working on it, which is the hard part, especially if you have to change some habits and, get out of your own way, and then you're like, ooh, maybe this isn't for me. this is not fun. That was fun, this is not fun. And then you repeat the cycle. It's like, okay, and now I'm actually gonna start this new thing, and you just do the whole thing again, rinse and repeat, and you never stick to anything. So be aware of this trap. I'm now very systematic of the things I choose to do and like what I commit myself to, and it's based on my values, what I want for my future. It's not about this dopamine hit because I know that I'm gonna feel so much better when I'm actually doing it, like going through the hard parts and showing myself that I can do it. That is what gives me way more satisfaction than dreaming and then doing nothing about it. So what you're gonna do, and it might seem really boring for you right now, is just start. Without the dreaming, the vision boarding, the telling the whole world about it, just stop it, okay? It hasn't worked for you so far, so why do you think it's gonna work the next time? And then if not, then the next time and the next time. Like, I know it's not fun, I've been there, but you're gonna get over it, okay? Find your dopamine elsewhere. And I also have a whole video about that. It's called the dopamine menu. I'll link it down below. Another little mental shift that really changed the game for me is that at the beginning, your satisfaction and your reward should be you actually doing it. Like, you knowing that you're on the path, you're doing the things that you wanna be doing, you're becoming who you want to be. That should be the reward and satisfaction, and something that you're constantly reminding yourself of. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that that is how you actually build real, quiet, like strong confidence. You don't need confidence to start doing something. You build it as you're doing it, as you're showing yourself that you can do it. Sticking to your own word, following through, even when it gets tough, persevering, that is how you build that confidence. And once you then do it, that becomes the blueprint. It becomes that system that's like ingrained so far into your psyche that you're like, I can try this new thing. I can commit to this because I know the path now. I've done it before. I've proven to myself that I can do it. It takes a bit of time to build that, but once you have it for life. And you can always revert back to that feeling and that like actual reward of getting something done and feeling so good about yourself. And then even if whatever you did didn't pan out exactly as you thought it would, maybe it wasn't as successful, maybe you didn't enjoy it as much, or you just don't think this is for you moving forward, whatever like failure you might perceive it as, you still did it though. You overcame, you did the hard part, and you now know the formula and you can replicate it again and again and again. Another thing you need to know about failure is that you never lose. You either win or you learn. I'm pretty sure that's a Nelson Mandela quote, so listen to him. And the best way to deal with failure once you lick your wounds is to find the lesson. What did I learn from this? How did I grow from it? How can I now move on in a better way because of it? This didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, and that doesn't mean that I am a failure and I'm never gonna be successful. It just means I need to pivot. Like, this taught me something. What is that thing, and how can I now move on in a better way and be smarter about the goal that I'm trying to achieve? That is how you build resilience, and I have a whole video about resilience. If you want to dive deeper into that topic, I'll link it down below. One thing you might not know about laziness is that a lot of the time it's actually fear and you not really acknowledging it. So your job is to recognize the fear. Like, what is it? One question you can ask yourself is, if I was being really honest with myself right now, what am I afraid will happen if I accomplish this? An awareness of a problem really is a problem half solved. And one thing about your mind is that it just wants to be heard. It needs you to acknowledge these things, because without it, you're trying to override a system that has an error. It doesn't matter what you're gonna build on top of it, that error is always gonna hold it back. Let's say one of your biggest goals is to become financially free. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever number, doesn't matter. But your deep fear is that people with money are evil. Do you think your psyche is gonna be like, all right, doesn't matter, let's keep the show going? Like, no, it's gonna come back to that constantly, and it's gonna hold you back, and it's gonna be really, really hard to try to override it. You're gonna keep coming back to that point where you get stuck, and then with where you currently are, you're probably gonna be like, oh, I'm just lazy, I can never stick to something. Acknowledge the fear, okay? It's not as scary as it seems to just point it out. You can literally just start with answering the question that I gave you, and that's it. It's gonna be way better than doing nothing and ignoring yourself. This one might be a little bit controversial, but it really, really works for me, and that is to start with the toughest part. Like, front load the bad, basically. This is how it goes for me. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do the toughest part that I'm like dreading the most first. It's gonna take a bit of effort to get started with it, but when I start something for the first time, I have the most energy and I'm like super excited about it. You know, you have that like intrinsic motivation. So I'm gonna take advantage of that by starting with the hardest part. And then once I'm done with that, everything else is gonna feel so much easier. I'm gonna be like, I got this. If I did this part, I can do the rest. It just really helps with my motivation and like that momentum, but it might not work for some people. Some people say that for them, it's easier to start with really small, easy steps to get that momentum and then, you know, build it up as they go. So this is gonna depend on how you are and how you work best. One thing I've never heard anyone talk about in one of these videos that I feel like is the key, like crucial. And that is to figure out your value system and live according to it. And this is amazing for you if you see yourself as lazy, because it really makes everything that you're doing and all the decisions that you're making so much easier and more straightforward. So here's a pretty simple way to figure out your values. You're gonna imagine yourself dying right now, okay? I know it's morbid, but sometimes one of our best motivators is the fact that we're gonna die, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna imagine yourself on your deathbed and you're gonna ask yourself a couple of questions, okay? So your life is ending right now, answer these questions. Looking back at your life, when were you the happiest? And like really go into it. Like what was going on? What were you doing? Have like a very full picture. You're basically doing like an autopsy of your life. The next question is, when were you the most fulfilled? And again, what was going on? What were you doing, etc. When did your life feel like it had a lot of meaning? What were you doing? What was going on? We know the drill. And then lastly, when were you most proud of yourself? And the same spiel again. And then you're gonna look at the answers and like a little scientist, you're gonna figure out the theme, and that theme is gonna be your values, okay? Here's an example. Let's say a lot of your answers were, I won a gold medal, I became an amazing public speaker, I built a really successful business, I sold a really successful business, yada, yada, yada. So what the theme here could be for you, this is gonna vary person to person, could be achievement. Like that is one of your values. So with everything that you're doing in life, you want to feel like you're achieving. There's obviously gonna be more of these. You don't just have one value. Get as much data as you possibly can. Another example could be, let's say a lot of your answers have to do with other people, like you volunteered, the love of your life, the memories you made with your family, your friends. Maybe in that case, your value could be connection. For someone, it might be like all the trips that you've done. So maybe one of your values is freedom or exploration or whatever. For someone, it might be creativity. Like there's so many different ones, and this is gonna be very like authentic to you, obviously. If you need more help when it comes to this, like figuring out your values and really living according to them, I'm gonna link a video down below that I did all about this. But the reason why you should do this and the reason why this is so helpful is, first of all, it's gonna help you to figure out what is actually for you, like which goals you should commit to. Obviously, if you're gonna be working so hard towards something, you want it to be something that's actually meaningful and important to you. It's gonna be a lot harder to persevere and keep going if you're someone who values freedom and exploration and connection and you want to have an accounting business. Like, that's not a good fit, you know? And the second thing it's gonna help you do is to figure out how this goal is actually gonna look like and how you're gonna achieve it. So let's take the same example. Your values are freedom, exploration, connection, but let's say you're really good with numbers. You have gone to school for accounting and you want to build an accounting business. Maybe in your case, you're gonna be a freelancer who does accounting for other freelancers or different creative businesses. And that way you can travel and explore and figure out your own hours, figure out your own schedule. Like that is how you could still live according to your values. But knowing these themes of your life is so incredibly helpful. It makes every decision so much easier. Life just feels more simple and like straightforward. That's the best way I can explain it. Like my energy is much more focused and my mind is so much more clear and like simple, relaxed. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know what's for me. That's the direction. It puts a lot of that mental gymnastics out of the way and a lot of like back and forth. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I blah, blah, blah. The confusion, gone, okay? Highly recommend. Another thing you're gonna do is you're gonna become obsessed with this new version of you. So that means you're gonna become obsessed with your new identity. So you're gonna stop saying I'm lazy. If you wanna work out and become super active and healthy, you're gonna stop saying I can never stick to things. I am not someone who works out, like I'm lazy, whatever. You're gonna switch that identity into what you actually want. So maybe your new identity is I'm someone who never skips a workout. I am someone who enjoys being active and going outside. I love hanging out with people who are like that, yada, yada, yada. You become obsessed with this new version of you, and then you can go further and you can see how would she spend her day, her mornings, like you can really go into detail. You're also gonna switch out your environment, okay? A lot of the time when I'm being super lazy, it means I'm spending a lot of my time in my bedroom over there, on my bed, and often when I'm having those periods of time, I need to get out of the house. I need to leave this room, okay? And that's what gets me out of it. And so a question you can ask yourself is, where would this new version of me be spending a lot of my time? What environments would she be in? Change up your environment, and this includes the content that you follow, and that's one of the easiest environments you can change. Unfollow or mute people who don't represent that and follow a bunch of people who do, whose life already looks the way you want yours to look like, or at least similar, who motivate you, inspire you. You want to be surrounded by this all the time. That's gonna make it so much easier. It's gonna provide so much inspiration and motivation for you. And on that same note, you're gonna start saying no to things and people that put this new version of you into the shadow. And you know exactly how that feels like. So let's say you get invited something. Is this thing, are these people gonna make you feel like this new version of you is shining and can come to the forefront and bask in all its glory? Or is it gonna have to be put in the shadow? Just actually questioning the things you're saying yes to and having this in the back of your mind is really gonna help you so much. Last but not least, you're gonna learn to control your schedule and become really good at time management. One of the things I really had to do is to minimize my to-do list. I used to put a lot of things on there that were not necessary at all. They did not have to be on there, and I put them on just because ticking them off made me feel like I was being productive. And it's that same dopamine hit trap that I talked about. Like, it made me feel productive and like I was doing something, and then at the end of the day I was like, oh my god, I wasted my time on so many things, and I did so many things that I did not have to do at all, and my priorities and the things that I really had to do got pushed to the side. Being busy for the sake of being busy means nothing, okay? You want to be productive, not just feel or make it seem like you are being productive. And then you're gonna figure out when you work best, like what time of the day, what time of the week, and then schedule the hardest things, the things that take the most mental power during those times. I made a whole video about how to literally become the champion of time management. It's one of my favorite videos that I've made because I really had to learn through trial and error, and now I feel like I'm really good at it. So I'll link that down below if you want to check it out, and just make your life easier. Like, now I feel like I have so many more hours in the day. I'm working less, but I'm getting so much more done. And I want that for you as well, because we've got lives to live. We've got things to do. Alrighty guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe, and also check out my social media if you want to see more of my personal life. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you really soon.